it. That is Mr. Al Pacino giving a little motivational speech there. And I feel like I need to put up a motivational speech for some of you guys. Got a lot of complaints, a lot of crying and whining from some losing teams. Man, come on. It's week 1. It's not over. This is definitely NFL season is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm disappointed after the first week, but I'm retooling, refiring, and I'm planning to win this week. So let's get on to it. Feeling a little under the weather today, guys, so I apologize for that. And I am flying solo. Mr. Danny Lee, a.k.a. the Belichick Gap hoodie sweater, could not make it today, so I'm going to do this by myself. Just going to go down the list of winners and losers and also go over this coming week's matchup. So let's get into it. Excuse me. We'll start off from the top with myself versus Jordan. Jordan handed it to me, unfortunately, 121-112. He had 2 defensive players. One get 20 points, one get 16 points. So good showing there, Jordan, and good research on those defenders. We had token white guy, Travis. Still, that name doesn't work, Travis. You got to change it. I'm just kidding. If you like it, keep it. But he got creamed by the cream team, Bobby, in the 702, that Vegas area code. 107 to 153. That's a 46-point differential. That's what I call a smoking right there. Kenny Britt put up 38 points. Aaron Hernandez put up 25 points for Bobby. So good job there. Next is Harris, Armchair Quarterbacks. Definitely got to change that name, Harris. I've told you how to change it, so how about you? Versus Dr. Baziri, Beezy Maneezy. That was a 169-154 matchup. Came down to that big game the other night, New England versus Miami. Reggie Bush versus the law firm, and the law firm did not disappoint, but Bush put up more numbers for Harris. Harris also had Stafford put up 33 points for him, as well as Ray Rice in that Pittsburgh debacle put up 32 points. Who would have thought that, for real? But apparently Harris did. Good job there, Harris. Next matchup was our rookie versus one of our members from last year, Kyle. So we had Tatted Stars, Jadine, going up against the Boondocks. Now, this was a thorough beatdown. This was 127 to 73, and I don't even think it was that close. Kevin Cobb put up 32 points. Andre Johnson put up 22 points for Tatted Stars. Way to go, Jadine, on your first victory. Kyle, you really need some help there. When you take Ocho Cinco with your second pick in the draft and then start picking up defensive backs, I know it's going to be a long season. Kyle's been putting it out there that he's willing to make some trades. He's got Mendenhall on his team, so might be willing to give up Mendenhall, Vernon Davis. Really, that's probably it. That's the only thing I can see that's worth trading on his team. So anybody looking to trade, talk to Kyle. He's looking for some trades. Next, we had KC Bo Nose Corbin versus Kitty Cat. And the Kitty Cat team was more like a lion or a tiger than a kitty cat. 178-162. That was a 6-point game. That was our highest point production out of the league. KC Bo Nose 162. He lost with 162, and that would have won in almost every other matchup. Kitty Cats had Aaron Rodgers and Matt Forte. That was 32 and 31 points respectively. So good job there, Crystal. Brings us to Captain Kosher's Dogs and Goodfellas. Let me just say, I do like that Goodfellas picture you put up, Mr. Frank. But you did take the Kosher's Dogs down 127 to 136, so good job there. Romo put up 27 points. I'm sure you did lose a few points in that last-second pick with the Jets. He probably should have lost more than that since he lost the game, but obviously I'm not a Dallas fan, so I was definitely pulling for the Jets in that game. You also had Reggie Wayne surprised everybody with 25 points. So good job there. Your rookies didn't do too bad either. I know you're still high on those guys, so we'll see how that turns out. Brings us to You Will Be Shanked versus Black Magic Ninjas. Now, Danny, you deserve a ripping for this. At 1 o'clock, when the game was starting, he sends me a message, why can't I change my lineup? Okay, you had all week long. I texted you and told you that your running back there, Foster, was not going to be in the lineup. All week I'm telling you it doesn't look like he's going to play. You didn't heed my advice. So it looks like you got burned. And you deserved it. 125-159. Good job, Alex. You will be shanked. He had Flacco 26 points and McCoy with 39 points. So nice job on those Eagles. Look at that. Unfortunately for us Skins fans, but we'll see them later this year. Next matchup was I Just Crushed You versus Miss Ride or Die. And Miss Ride or Die did the crushing, not you, Emal. That was a, excuse me, 111 to 145 mashing there. 34-point differential. Tom Brady put up 50 points for Shakita, and I do have to bow down because I did pick Emal to win that game, so I stand corrected. 50 points from Brady, 19 points from Hightower. Good job, Shakita. And that brings us to our new matchups this week. This coming week looks pretty exciting. We got some undefeated teams versus some winnerless teams. We'll start out with myself, Fantasy Baller, versus the Cream team. Hopefully Bobby doesn't do any creaming on me. No pun intended. I got Schaub, Jamal Charles, and Jennings versus Alex Smith, Adrian Peterson, and Mike Wallace. Obviously, I'm picking myself. Dr. Viziru, Veezy Menezy versus DMV Skins, Jordan. We got Vic, Beanie Wells, and Deshaun Jackson for the Good Doctor. And Phillip Rivers, Michael Bush, Terrell Suggs, and Peppers, who put up 20 and 16 points last week. I am going with the Good Doctor here. We have the Boondocks, Mr. Kyle versus Token White Guys. Obviously, I think this will be another loss for the Boondocks. Token White Guys, I think, is going to take this. Travis, I got you back in this one. We have Cam Newton, who I do think it's a good idea if that's what you have on your bench. Matt Castle, I would bench him and put Newton in, and that's what Kyle has done. Even though I don't like Newton's matchup versus Green Bay, I still think he has a bigger upside than Castle. So Newton, Mendenhall, I don't think they're going to get it done for you this week. He also picked up early Doucette. I like that pickup. We'll see if he can back up that huge Week 1 performance versus the Skins. I hope not. But I think Bradford, even though he's hurt, Michael Turner and Frank Gore are going to get it done for Token White Guys. Next set of matchups is I Just Crushed You versus You Got Shanked. And I think You Will Be Shanked is going to go 2-0 with his Flacco, McCoy, Megatron versus Kansas City could put up a lot of points there. So I am going with him over Josh Freeman, MJD, and Plaxico Burress. Kitty Cats, obviously I'm going on her side. I don't want to be on that couch. Nobody wants me to be on that couch. So she's going up against Harris. I like Rogers, Matt Forte, and Miles Austin versus Stafford, Ray Rice, and Stevie Johnson. We got Goodfellas versus Tatted Stars, and I think the rookie is going to pull up another upset of our last year champion. Tatted Stars is going to have Kevin Cobb, Felix Jones, Andre Johnson, and Fitzgerald, who I hope Fitzgerald and Cobb don't make that connection because they are playing the Skins. Versus Tony Romo, Chris Johnson, and those rookies, Julio Jones and A.J. Green. Once again, I'm taking Tatted Stars in this one. Black Magic Ninjas, Matt Ryan, Arian Foster with a question mark. Doesn't really matter to Danny because who knows if he's paying any attention or not. Like right now, he has a player that is out for the next 6 weeks, still in his starting lineup. We'll see. It's a wide receiver. We don't know if he'll change him or not. Versus Eli Manning, Darren McFadden, Roddy White, and Wes Welker. I am going Casey Bo-Nose in this one. He put up some solid points Week 1, still lost, but I think he's going to put up those points and get a victory this week. Last matchup is Miss Ride or Die versus Captain Kosher's Dogs. That's Tom Brady, Tim Hightower, and Massacoy. Nice pickup there, and I got a lot of people questioning that Roethlisberger trade for Massacoy. She saw a need, had a good starting quarterback and needed a receiver. Obviously, you think Big Ben's a better player, but in fantasy football, it's not about players. It's about the value for your team. And she picked up a solid receiver, Cleveland's #1, and he produced for her. And he actually scored more than Roethlisberger in that debacle versus the Ravens. So we'll see what happens. But playing up against Captain Kosher's Dogs, who's